Alright, so now we look at 1.4. In 1.4 we got f of x is equal to x squared plus 5x plus 6, and you're going to divide it by x minus a. Now in all the other examples we had numbers. Now this time you have a letter, a variable. You have a, x minus a. Well, the rule is still the same. You still do it the same way. If this was x minus 5, we would have said x minus 5 is equal to 0. But now it is not x minus 5, it is x minus a. So we have to say x minus a is equal to 0. So we have to say x minus a is equal to 0. Solve this, x is equal to a. So now, wherever there is x, you must put a. So f of a is equal to a squared plus 5 into a plus 6, which will give you a squared plus 5a plus 6. So you will say the remainder is equal to a squared plus 5a plus 6. So this time the remainder is not a number, but it is an expression. Alright. So when you find remainders, it could be a positive number. So remember, just remember, and B. A remainder could be a positive number, it could be a negative number, it could be 0, it could be a letter, or it could be an expression. This is an example of an expression. The remainder is an expression. So the remainder could be a positive number, it could be a negative number, it could be 0, it could be a letter or an expression. Now, when the remainder is 0, if remainder is equal to 0, then the divisor is a factor. For example, when we did when we divided x squared plus 5x plus 6 by 2. For example, when we divided x squared plus 5x plus 6 was divided by x plus 2, the remainder was 0. Therefore, x plus 2 is a factor. So remember one thing. If the remainder is 0, then whatever is in the bracket is a factor. I'll repeat that. If the remainder is 0, then whatever is in the bracket is a factor. If the remainder is not 0, then the bracket is not a factor. I'll repeat that. If the remainder is not 0, then whatever is in the bracket is not a factor. If the remainder is 0, then whatever is in the bracket is a factor. So that's very important to remember.